Biztech's C-Suite Conversation Show. Our guest for today is Roman Ermoshin. He's the Director of Asia Pacific at inDrive. Now, founded in 2012 in Russia, inDrive is an international ride-hailing service with more than 150 million downloads operating in 47 countries. Now, it's headquartered in Mountain View, California, and is the second largest ride-sharing and taxi app worldwide by downloads. Now, to tell us more a little bit about inDrive, welcome to the show, Roman.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. It's lovely to be here with you today. Always on the run. Sorry for a bit of a background noise. We live in a digital world now, and we are always moving. And actually, one of the aims of inDrive is to help people like me move fast and effective. And now I'm really happy to be here with you just to tell you a bit about inDrive. It's a lot in my head to tell you about the platform. As you mentioned here, inDrive is a global mobility platform, very well known. It works in 47 countries across the globe, in over 700 cities. It started years ago in one small northern city, and now it's just everywhere. inDrive is a ride-hailing primarily, and it gives people in many countries freedom and control, freedom of choice and control of the services they order. It's so easy with inDrive just to go out, to order a ride, and to stay in control of the price and of the driver or of the passenger you want to have. It's important to say that our mission is to challenge injustice. We go to the markets where ride-hailing exists, and people need to find the fair way how to move to the place they need. And we give them a choice. We always believe that there are two people who can negotiate with each other. They can always agree. We just give them the platform, we just give them the technology. And on this platform, this technology, they use it just to find each other, to negotiate the price, and then finally to get the service and rate each other for the best service. So that's just a bit about inDrive. Let's move on with the details.
Okay, so Roman, can you, I think for the benefit of our audience, tell us why you are different from the likes of Grab and Gojek?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, there are quite a lot of ride-hailing apps across the globe, right? They appear pretty much every single day, but there are just few leaders, and inDrive is one of them. We are the second biggest app globally in terms of the downloads. And how do we stand out? That's pretty easy to say, because our uniqueness is that we give our users the option to choose each other and to negotiate with each other. So that's the difference with the competitors you mentioned, with the other ride-hailing apps you mentioned. We just give the technology to those two people who want to find each other, and we give them this way to communicate. We call it the P2P, peer-to-peer, person to person, when two people just jump on the platform and they start looking for each other. Just imagine you need a ride, you get out, you put point A where you are, you put point B where you go, and you click find, and then all the drivers around you, they get this request, and then the driver sits and says that, okay, the price is good for me, I'm gonna take this ride. Or the other driver says, well, I'm so nearby to the user, probably I can raise the price a little bit because the traffic is bad, and he replies back to you with his bid, with his offer, and then all the drivers come back to you as a passenger with their orders, and then you look at them, you choose the driver, you choose the car, you choose the rating, you choose the price, and then you choose finally you click yes, and that's how the deal happens. The driver comes to you, and then you both go, and at the end of the journey you both rate each other. So that's the specific, and for the driver it's also the freedom of choice and the control He may choose any passenger he wants, the one who goes to this direction or to that direction. It's just platform which connects people and helps them to find each other. And then the negotiation, the pricing, the choice stays on them. They control this. And that's the difference with the other ride-hailing apps. That's the uniqueness, and that's how we became that popular in the last few years.
Okay, that's very interesting because, as you correctly mentioned, that's quite different from how the major market leaders work in the various markets in Asia Pacific, whether it's Malaysia, whether it's Indonesia. That's quite different. Can you also tell me then, because some of these ride-hailing apps charge as much as 20 or 25% as commission, how much do you charge?
Yeah, our commission is normally the lowest in the market. That it never goes up, never goes above 10%, and that's the lowest in the market. How we make it happen? Why we are that cheaper than others? First, we do not spend that much on the marketing. We never have these huge and very expensive marketing campaigns across the globe, right? Second, we do not spend a lot on incentives and different promotions. That's important to understand, that we are very transparent in terms of the price, in terms of the price for the passenger and for the driver. Our driver always knows how much he earns from the service, and our passenger always gets the best price comparing to the other ride-hailing apps. That's the key feature. And just it's important to say that this commission mostly, predominantly goes to the development of the platform and to the support. Frankly, I just want to say, just want to tell you that when I joined inDrive, I never worked for the app before, and I couldn't imagine how many people and how many different functions stand behind one single app. And all these functions, they need support, they need to develop, they have certain impact to the app development. And normally, all of that commission which driver pays, it goes not to the promotions, marketing, whatever. It goes to the platform development, the support, to making sure that the platform is sustainable, it's stable for the user. And that's this minimal commission is just to run the platform on a very highest level of excellence. Yeah, it is normally the lowest in the market, and it's important to say that drivers are happy with this level of commission because they are sure that they get the reasonable and the best quality service for the reasonable price they pay.
Okay, you also have some other services. You have everything from courier service, freight delivery. You also have something called iLocal services. Tell us about those value-added services beyond your core ride sharing, ride hailing application services.
Right. We develop as a mobility platform first, and we include all the other organic, I would call them organic services, which are in addition to the ride hailing, which is in-city couriers and intercity rides and freight services. Yeah, related to all of that is related to the delivery of either people or goods. For the courier services, they are available pretty much everywhere where ride hailing exists. It's 39 countries for the moment. If you want to send something inside the city, you just click on it, you put the narrative what you want to send, and then the courier comes to you, and you are just sure that the courier is the person who has been screened by inDrive, and it's absolutely safe to send anything with the courier.
And Roman, that's a very clear point that I want to just stop you for a little while.
Yeah.
All consumers are worrying about quality assurance and safety, and that's a big issue within the ride-hailing and delivery business. How do you validate your drivers to ensure quality and safety?
Yeah, that's a very, very big thing to discuss. And we know that our passengers everywhere in the world, people are pretty much the same, and they do care about similar things, and they want to make sure that their drive is safe. of course, our strategy and one of our pillars is to make sure that we provide the most safest service everywhere we operate. And every driver who joins us is being screened by our team manually and automatically. We have certain algorithms which just check on the driver, his behavior. We check the documents which he submits to us. These documents are normally identified by the local government officials, and we also request some other additional documents just to make sure that the person is 100% verified, and we are not worried to bring him up to the platform. Up until we are not sure that the documents are okay, we would never allow this driver to start working on the platform. And then during the time when he works for us, we track the ratings of the customers. Yeah, we track the feedback from our users. They can put the feedback on the platform about each particular driver, about each particular ride. We track this, and if we see that there are any potential issue, we certainly talk to the driver, we send him some messages, we notify him, and if we see that there are any problem which is not being resolved, that we just may remove the driver from the platform, unfortunately, but this sometimes happens, and this happens in the favor of our users, just to make sure that everything is 100% safe. So just to become the inDrive driver, it's important to provide all the necessary documents in accordance with the local regulation, and then to do the service according to the rules of the service and to the best practices of the local market. That's how we make sure that every single driver is safe and secure.
All right, now, Roman, inDrive has been very successful. It has grown, over the last, this is the 11th year, I believe. Now you became a unicorn in 2021. You raised 150 million from venture capitalist, which gave you a valuation of 1.2 billion at that time. It's been a year plus since that fundraise. What are your plans moving forward for inDrive, particularly in the Asia Pacific region? Will you be raising more money to fund your expansion?
Right. It's interesting to share the news with you now, because it's been just recently released a few days ago that inDrive raised another 150 million as an investment from General Catalyst again, which used to invest into us earlier. And this is a little bit different type of investment. This is we call it a hybrid innovative investment instrument. When the fund, General Catalyst, they invest into our marketing spend, and they invest into the specific things we do to acquire new users and to increase the retention of our existing users. And that's how the marketing fund has been funded by the investor, and then we pay back to the investor as the business keeps on growing. So it's important to say that our existing investor, very well-known international fund, General Catalyst, is participating again and giving us another $150 million to develop our business globally and in Asia Pacific, of course, as well.
Now, is there any IPO in the pipeline?
Well, we have some plans, and earlier we told our users and the audience that we're gonna potentially go to the IPO at the end of 2024 or at the beginning of 2025. These plans are still actual. The thing is that now you see the markets are pretty difficult, and the situation in the economy around the globe is quite complex for the moment. So we will be obviously looking at the current market position and all the trends around. But yeah, this is in the plans, and I guess that closer to the end of this year, we would be able to tell more specific dates and more specific plans about the IPO.
Now, Roman, it's been a really interesting conversation. It's nice to see that some of the regional players have more competition because that more competition is often good for the consumer. But before we leave, Roman, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with, particularly in terms of, on one hand, the consumer and also then potential partners for inDrive?
Yeah, it's good. Thank you for this conversation. It's been a lovely time with you, Brian. And for me, it's just important to say again that our mission as a company is to fight injustice. We see that there's quite a lot of injustice across the globe, and we, as a technology, as a platform, can do something to make injustice smaller. If you are a driver, of course, you can come to us and join us and enjoy the best platform to deliver people and to drive with us.
Yeah,
If
and
you
as
are
a driver,
passenger,
I again remember 10%. You said no more than 10%. That's in some markets, that's less than half of what the market leader charges.
exactly. So that's just a very reasonable price for the best in-class service. And if you are a passenger, just go to the store, whatever you use, App Store, Google Play, or any other, download the app and try to find the best driver for you for today. Our mission is to provide transparency, to provide control, and to provide the best service in ride hailing and in the other mobility and other urban services everywhere where we are operating at the moment. And this is now 47 countries in over 700 cities. So go anywhere you want, download inDrive, go there, order a ride, and enjoy the service.
Now, Roman, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much for taking your time to come on the show.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you.
Now, we've been speaking to Roman Ermoshin. He's the Director of Asia Pacific of inDrive. Now, I'm Brian Fernandez, and you've been watching and listening to Biztech's C-Suite Conversation Show. This interview will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our social media platforms. It'll also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.